let's start with this. Alec Baldwin was on, I think he tweeted or it was on TikTok or something, but he was going to interview Woody Allen, which I didn't even know Woody Allen. I mean, this man really does not, he's never really done a lot of interviews in his life. I don't think. Maybe I'm totally wrong about that. But he doesn't do a lot of going out in public. And he's 100 million years old. And so I didn't even think that he would be up for doing a Zoom. I mean, obviously, I know he's not the one putting it all together. But I just didn't think he would even get on one. I didn't even think he'd want his old face to be seen. And again, that's not me being ageist, because I think all old faces should be seen. But I'm just talking about what Woody Allen, I thought of himself. So I'm vamping a little because I'm trying to find the audio of Alec Baldwin announcing his interview with Woody Allen. I think it's here. I think I have found, oh no, that's something else. Oh, here it is. Okay, so it was on his Instagram. So now let me just back this up for a minute and let's just remind you all that Alec Baldwin killed someone. I don't even remember when it was. It was within the last year. Now, of course, it was an accident.
Oh, hey guys, I'm Hallie Kiefer.
And I'm Allison Livey.
And we have a podcast called Ruined, where every week we crack open a new and different horror movie to feast on the goo inside.
Oh, I hate that. And I hate all horror movies. But even though I'll never watch any of them, I always want to know all of the twists and turns.
And there's nothing I like more than watching horror movies and then telling Allison about them in gory, disgusting detail.
Ugh, no thank you. But also, yes, because this is the perfect podcast for scaredy cats like me.
And blood lovers like me. So join us for Ruined and subscribe wherever you get your podcasts.
I know that probably fucked him up. But it was a pretty preventable accident. I understand that when you're on set and you're dealing with a gun, there should be no bullets in the gun. There should be no bullets on set, period. A lot of times prop guns don't even use prop bullets. It's done with CGI coming out of the barrel of the gun and then sound effects. But there are some prop guns that shoot out prop things that, again, wouldn't be able to hurt anyone. And then sometimes the prop things could hurt people, literally, you'll take an eye out. So you're careful with that. But this weird, bizarre case that I still don't know what happened to it, but the prop people were kind of inexperienced. The whole crew working on a shoestring, semi-non-union budget was operating very strangely. And they had sought out to hire this expert prop master, that's the name of the job, who had been in the business decades. And when he saw this ragtag team of people, he said, I don't want to be part of this job. But then when he said no to the job, he thought, I think there's going to be an accident on this set. And he felt very guilty. This man who had nothing to do with it. He interviewed for the job, said no thank you, went about his life. This man feels guilty that someone got killed because he felt like he knew, again, with this ragtag group of people that he interviewed with, there could potentially be an accident. Alec Baldwin, I know he felt bad. I know he did. I mean, he's not a complete sociopath, but I feel like you just have to go away. I mean, maybe you can work again, go put on a character, film a movie if they let you. But you got to go away otherwise. You can't be on the socials. You can't be interviewing Woody Allen or anybody. I know at one point it seemed as though the husband of the woman that Alec Baldwin accidentally killed was forgiving or understanding of the situation and was giving Alec Baldwin the benefit of the doubt. But I think he recently said something in the media that was I don't know what this guy is doing. Why is he going on TV shows and kind of talking about this. Oh yeah, husband of Rust cinematographer killed on set was so angry that Alec Baldwin did not accept responsibility. Matt Hutchins, husband of Helena Hutchins, the cinematographer killed by a prop gun held by Alec Baldwin on the set of Rust, spoke to Hoda Kotb, how do you say her name? Anyway, Hoda, in an exclusive interview on Today. He blames his wife's death on the movie star, Alec Baldwin, as well as industry standards that were not practiced on set. The idea that the person holding the gun and causing it to discharge is not responsible is absurd to me, he told Hoda. Gun safety was not the only problem. There were a number of industry standards that were not practiced, and there's multiple responsible parties. So that's a pretty big deal that he feels this way, you know? I mean, so again, Alec Baldwin was a producer on the movie. We've gone through this. Sometimes producer does not mean that you do every single thing. It can be more about casting and writing. But as probably one of the most experienced people on that set, I feel like he should have dismantled the gun in front of everyone or asked the prop master to dismantle it in front of him for his own safety. I mean, God, you have it in your pocket. It could go off and blow your leg off. So anyway, okay, so he didn't do any of that. He made a mistake and he made excuses for his mistake, saying, you know, there's other people involved, that by the time the gun was handed to him, it should have been cleared, that there was no bullets in it. And he's absolutely right. But the buck stops here. Somebody has to quadruple check, because again, if the gun was handed to you and it was not up to industry standards, thank God you quadruple checked it, because now you can fire all the people that handed it to you so that this never happens again. Like, that's why I would check it. I wouldn't even necessarily be thinking about safety. I'd be thinking about pettiness. Like, I just want to make sure everyone under me who's younger knows how to do their fucking job. So I'm going to micromanage and check everything they do, because I love firing entitled people. I don't fire anyone. I don't hire anyone. But if I was in that position, if you can't work from a place of safety, at least work from a place of pettiness. So anyway, here's Alec Baldwin on his Instagram acting the fool, announcing he's going to interview famed pedophile, marrier of his girlfriend's adopted daughter, Woody Allen.
This coming Tuesday.
And he's giggling like a fool.
28th. It's the 28th, I think. With this coming Tuesday, I'm going to be doing an Instagram Live at 10:30 Eastern Time. 10:30 Eastern Time with...
He's holding up Woody Allen's book. Ugh, he's holding it up again, but this time so we can see the back cover with Woody Allen's picture.
Tuesday, the 28th, 10:30 Eastern Time. I'm going to be doing an Instagram Live with Woody Allen. You know what I love? I love you, Woody.
What the fuck?
Instagram Live with Woody. Tuesday, 10:30. Be there.
He's making the weirdest faces.
Hi, it's me, very famous comedian and writer Michael Ian Black. I have a podcast so popular, it is named Obscure. In it, I read works of classic literature out loud and interrupt myself throughout to provide smart and funny commentary as I go. It's like pop-up video for books, which is a reference for really old people. I just finished Mary Shelley's Frankenstein for season 2 of Obscure, so if you're looking for a new audiobook, why not let me read it to you? You guys like murder podcasts? Well, this is a murder podcast. There's also celebrity gossip.
Somebody asked me, is your beef with Mark Maron real? The second is he really an asshole? And the answer is yes. And the first half is yes.
And really good accent work.
I'll read what I want, Mr. Carter.
Join me for a book club like no other. It's Obscure with me, Michael Ian Black. Listen and subscribe on Apple Podcasts, Apple Music, or wherever you listen.
Just such a freak. Okay. And I love Alec Baldwin. I mean, I don't want to hate him. I think he's really cool. I think he's a great actor. I think he's funny. He's a great voice. But this behavior in his personal life. So anyway, so I tweeted something, one of my usual inflammatory tweets that gets so much attention. And then, it's like I'll tweet something inflammatory that I low-key, I mean it, but I honestly, if you ask me a few hours later if I even remember tweeting it, I'm like, oh, right. And then those are always the ones that get picked up by the press. Because, that's what being a reporter is nowadays, is you just write a headline, Alec Baldwin slammed for upcoming Woody Allen interview, and then you just screenshot a bunch of tweets from people. It's the laziest journalism I've ever seen. Then again, whenever people in journalism contact me to talk about sexism in comedy, I go, I tweeted about it. Just, there's my quote, is the tweet. What more do I have to say? So, I can't have it both ways, I guess. So Alec Baldwin being slammed, but I always wake up and go, why am I getting all this harassment online? Oh, somebody published a tweet of mine. It's like, how about the tweets advertising my podcast? Can those get ever picked up? I mean, those are boring, so why would anyone? So Alec Baldwin posted on Instagram, I'm going to do a live, you just heard it. In a caption to the post, Baldwin wrote, "Let me preface this by stating that I have zero interest in anyone's judgments and sanctimonious posts here. I am obviously someone who has my own set of beliefs and could not care less about anyone else's speculation. If you believe that a trial should be conducted by way of an HBO documentary, that's your issue." Oh God, enough with this. A documentary isn't a trial, so therefore no one can have an opinion about what they saw. What? Guys, I'm not going to relitigate this or rediscuss this. It's just so gross. You got 19 kids, Alex. Maybe don't hang out with pedophiles. Do you think that maybe that's why Woody Allen likes you so much? Because you got 19 kids? I'm just saying. Don't let him anywhere near the fucking kids, Alec. Just in case. Just in case. How about that? Think of the safety issue, Alec. Pretend now going forward in life that everything is a loaded gun in your hand. And think, maybe I'll double check. Right? So just don't go near the loaded gun of all y'all's children near Woody Allen. How about that? TV writer Jen Kirkman wrote on Twitter. See, they don't even know who I am. My bio says TV writer because I just don't identify as a comedian right now. So I tweeted, I don't want to tell anyone how to live, but after committing manslaughter, I would want to just lay low and not do an IG live where I promote a pedophile. Now that's pretty harsh language. I say he's guilty of manslaughter and I call Woody Allen a pedophile. Now, do I stand by those beliefs? Yes, I do. But I don't know, like when you see it in Newsweek, you go, oh, well, gee, that looks harsh, but good because it is harsh. But it's not exactly like if I had my pick of tweets that I wanted to be published. It wouldn't be that one. It might be the one where I tweeted the opening theme song to Miami Vice, Holds Up. I mean, that's a solid tweet. Anyway, so we interviewed Woody Allen. I didn't even know Woody Allen had a book out. Just, ugh. Just yuck.
Hi there, I'm Jimmy Pardo, host of the award-winning podcast, Never Not Funny. It's a show that's been described as hanging out with friends you never knew you needed. Well, each week I get together with my co-host, Matt Belknap, and great people from the worlds of comedy, Broadway, music, TV, movies. You get the point. Hey, Matt, give me some examples of who we've had on.
Oh my God, Jimmy, we've had comedy legends like Conan O'Brien, Amy Poehler, and Sarah Silverman, Hollywood royalty like Rob Reiner and John Hamm, and members of classic rock bands like Styx and Kiss.
Hey, Never Not Funny's been around since 2006, so we must be doing something right. So why not join our nonsense each week? Never Not Funny.
The fastest hour in podcasting.
Oh, but Louis C.K. has a new movie out, and it is getting panned, except by sycophantic writers. Like Variety liked it, but they like everything that sexual assaulters do. It's just a little trend I've noticed recently. But Roger Ebert, who I believe is no longer with us, but someone that works for that website, I think it's like the new reviewer that took over, Matt Zoller Sites. He talked about Louis C.K.'s. And probably you've never heard of this movie. And so I don't even want to give it any publicity. So I'm not even telling you the name of it. You want to find it, you go find it. But I saw the trailer and I thought, this literally looks like a movie that a 12-year-old made on their iPhone copying a Woody Allen movie. It has that. And by the way, nobody is more, well, except for the victims and people that know him personally, but nobody's more bummed that this is who Woody Allen is than me. Do you understand that Annie Hall is one of the first, it was the first Woody Allen movie I saw. I saw it as a teenager. It blew my head off. It was my favorite movie of all time, and it stood the test of time against all other movies. I just can't watch it anymore, not because I'm making a moral judgment. I literally find it difficult to look at him. It's like I'm having a reaction the way I feel like when I eat coconut flakes. I'm just, oh. So it's not even coming from this moralistic place or, it's just ruined for me. And then when I re-look at, like, let's just say none of the stuff was true about any molestation. And let's just say it was like totally cool to marry your girlfriend's daughter. Let's just say all that was like amazing and didn't happen. I just look at those movies differently now as this kind of like condescending male comedian who's like really threatened that his girlfriend is starting to have a life of her own. It's just like, oh, like there's just a lot of weird stuff like that I go, oh, this isn't fun anymore. But anyway, so, but again, like it was for me to undo the years of hero worship was a lot for me. So don't think that I'm coming at this from, you don't get it. No. It was very painful for me. And anyway, so I know that Louis is trying to, mimic in an homage to Woody Allen's style, which, like, look, if you're going to copy a movie maker style, it's a great one to copy. No problem there. But it's so blatant that I go, well, you got to make the movie better if it's going to be this blatant of you didn't even watch the movie. That's not the trailer. And it stars like this comedian who's his opening act now. And I went to that comedian's Twitter page and he had blocked me. And I was like, that's so funny. They must be talking about me on tour. Like, Jen Kirkman's a bitch because I told everyone what you did. Okay. Anyway, so, meaning told everyone about what Louis did. But the reviews, guys, it's just not good. Like, even if I was like, Louis C.K. is amazing, like, it's just not a good movie. And then I'm like, has he always been kind of mediocre and we were all under like a mass hallucination? Because when a mediocre male who is funny gets elevated to such hero status, like he's the comedian for everyone, blah, 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 smart people, this people, that people, but they're not elevating any other voices that aren't like schlubby middle-aged white men. It's very easy to be like, well, I don't see anyone else being amazing. And then like as the doors were just stampeded down by all of these comedians from newer to have been around a while, but everyone that's just not a mediocre male schlub white man, is suddenly you realize when you put him up against other people, even though everyone does different things, it's always hard to compare. You think there's so many talented people out there. Why were we elevating this one voice? So anyway, but the movie, I love that the article starts off with like he had this sexual assault things that he admitted to. But it says the film takes its sweet time getting to the point. They spend forever and a day on little vignettes. There are scenes exploring this character's work as a live musician that don't contribute anything to our understanding of the characters. The listless self-indulgence continues with pointlessly fussy cutaway editing and expressionistic lighting. Green signifies anxiety for something. These and other filmmaking tools seem meant to enrich a thin story that clearly meant a great deal to the people who wrote it. But the sum of it has the same effect on the viewer as being trapped at a party with a nice but dull person who decides to tell you their entire life story without even asking your name. Louis attained the peak of his fame as a progressive comedian. I don't think he set out to say I'm a progressive comedian, but pivoted immediately after the revelations of his misconduct and started pandering to right-wing comedy audiences, blasting, quote, woke culture, which is easy money for stand-ups who claim to have been, quote, canceled. Ooh, this is a great review. There's a meta layer to the story, no matter how strenuously the director claims he just wants to get back to telling stories. But if you take CK's mission statement at face value, the film comes off even more poorly. This is the kind of earnest but inept and obviously indulgent indie flick that a festival's artistic director would program in full awareness of its deficiencies because they thought the name of someone associated with the project will put butts in seats. Even though lacking such a pedigree, the film would never be seen by anyone outside of the director's family, many of whom would be pretending to like it. Whoa, snapping! All right. There we go. And I will be talking more on the other side. See you all on the Patreon. Click the link in the show notes to join.